Hello there, people of the internet. How is everybody doing today? I'm doing alright, thanks for asking. I'm waiting for the UPS man to come bring me some ammunition, but hey, I'm still waiting. It said delivery today, but we're in the afternoon. Still no delivery. We'll see what happens on that. Anyway, me and my father recently came out to the gun range to blow some stuff up together. It was a really good time. Great family bonding moment. I hear Kevin screaming in the background. So you might hear Kevin today. Summertime's coming along, so Kevin's starting to get more active. If you don't know who Kevin is, he's my peacock. I got 4 of them. Welcome to the gun channel. Anyway, my father got some corrosive ammunition from SG Ammo, and he fired it through his AK while we were out here. And he doesn't 100% know how to clean a firearm, so I told him, hey, I'll go ahead and take care of it. So I brought his AK back to my place and I cleaned it for him. And now we're out here at the range. I'm gonna go ahead and fire off a couple rounds just to knock off all the excess oil. I'll be using non-corrosive ammunition. This AK had 1,000 rounds through it of various different kinds of ammo and has never been cleaned, so it was quite dirty. So now that she's cleaned, I'm gonna dirty her up again, knock out all the excess oil and whatnot that I'm sure has got piled up in there. But you guys have seen this on my channel before. This area is just a nice little tactical looking AK-47, has a rail system up front, RPK style polymer stock on it. I only have a 10-round magazine in this thing, simply because ammunition is expensive right now here in the United States. I buy all this myself, so 10-round magazine should serve our purposes just fine. Now, this is unfortunately an inner ordnance AK-47. I get a lot of people on both sides of the spectrum that say inner ordnance is just fine and people that say inner ordnance is garbage. It all depends on how many rounds you're going to fire from it. I've had several inner ordnance AK-47s in my time. Their lifespan is about 2,500 rounds approximately. I'm told if you lubricate them properly and whatnot, they'll last longer. But lubrication doesn't account for poor metal work. In this AK, this inner ordnance AK, just like every other ordnance AK that I've started taking apart, this one's only got about 1,000 rounds through it, so it's not nearly as bad as my other one, which has about 3,000 rounds through it. There's a couple of weaknesses, specific weak spots in these AKs. The firing pin and the firing pin retaining pin seem to be made of a cheaper kind of metal because they are consistently wearing and breaking way faster than any other AK I've seen on the market. These also are notorious for headspace issues. The barrel will start to walk because the barrel retaining pin is also made of a poorer metal. I don't think the trunnion has any problems in these. I'm pretty sure the trunnions are okay. I haven't seen any deformation in the inner ordnance AKs that I've messed with, but the barrel retaining pin, the firing pin, the firing pin retainer pin, and the bolt itself, I've seen broken bolts on these things as well, so that tells me that's also not a great metal. The hammers themselves as well are also not a great metal. They are, this one's got about 1,000 rounds through it and it is smushed and all, it's damaged to the point to where I might have to end up filing it at some point because it won't impact the firing pin properly if it continues to deform in the way that it's been deforming. I've replaced the hammer in one of my inner ordnance AKs already. Like I said, this one's got about 1,000 rounds through it, maybe 1,500. In all honesty, I'm not entirely sure, but I know it's somewhere in that area. So we're not quite to the fail point of this one yet. It looks cool, and if you don't go shooting, every day like I do, then one of these is, well, they're cheaper than your average everyday AK. Maybe not right now with the inflation and whatnot going on for firearms. They're all at a premium, but this one's still running. Still headspace is all right. The firing pin itself is pretty worse for wear. The retaining pin is starting to sear itself in half. It'll be interesting to see if it flies apart. I don't think it will, because my other firing pin retaining pins that have seared in half from inner ordnance, only from inner ordnance, that's the only time I've ever seen that. But the other ones that have seared in half have taken more damage than this one's taken, but they beat themselves to death. All right, now, without further ado, let's go ahead and blast a couple of rounds here. I haven't fired this AK in quite some time. Like I said before, this AK has shown up on my channel. I like the fact that this one has a front pistol grip on it right there. If this was California, I couldn't have this thing here, but I mean, all it does is make it more comfortable to shoot. But hey, somebody who doesn't understand or care to understand firearms wouldn't know that. Another thing I will say, perks to Inner Ordnance, they do have a little catch back here so you can actually hold your bolt open if you deem that necessary or decide to do that. I don't do that myself, but it's cool to have that feature. One more weak point of Inner Ordnance AKs. I forgot about this because this was like several years ago whenever I got this thing. I've had several Inner Ordnance AKs do this. The leaf spring on the rear sight is very, very weak. You got to take it out and bend it to provide proper spring tension, cram it back in, and if you don't do that, your rear sight will fly off. I've had that happen before. On this one, the one I spray painted gold, a buddy of mine has one of these. That happened to his. And another guy from a gun channel I know, that happened to his as well. So, if you got one of these, make sure that your rear sight leaf spring is properly tensioned. Okay, well, 10 rounds. Let's go ahead. Well, she chambered all right. Oh yeah, she's much smoother than she was. Let's lob some lead. I'll shoot like 5 rounds here, and then we'll walk out to a distance, fire another 5 rounds, test out the accuracy on this thing. Because I actually really like the sights on this thing, and with the front pistol grip, it's quite comfortable to hold. I'm sure that I could fire this thing quite accurately. I say as I miss around it, what, 45, 50 yards? Ah, wow, that really stinks. All right, let's step out to a distance. This thing right here is chambered, ready to go. Okay, let's go. All right, here we are at a distance. You know, Scott from Kentucky Ballistics has one of these that's full auto. So, good luck on that one, buddy. The rear sight on this thing is also quite wobbly. Yeah, I don't think that's supposed to do that. I'm probably gonna have to tighten up the spring in this thing again. Let's see if we can actually make hits with that wobbly rear sight. Nope. Yeah, I don't think that this is gonna happen, guys. I have no idea where I'm hitting. Yeah, okay. I did try. Yeah. That's not gonna hit anything. How do you like that? Okay, I'm gonna have to retighten that leaf spring again. Oh well. I mostly just wanted to check out functionality. Whenever me and my father come out here shooting, we never shoot beyond like 50 yards or so. So thanks for watching. Quickish video. Like the video if you actually like it. YouTube's anti-gun, so every like, every subscription, every share definitely helps. Subscribe to the channel to see more. In the description you'll find a link to social medias, Discord, things like that. My gaming channel, Get Drunk, Play Video Games. That's a great time. Alright, I'm gonna go find something else to shoot. Something that I can make hits at a long distance, because it's a lot more fun than shooting that up close with a rifle anyway. Maybe I'll break out my handgun, get some handgun practice time in. Anyway, I'm just shooting thoughts out at this point. You guys go off, have a fantastic day. Since I've done this. Bonnie and Clyde be damned. The poor man's Garrett. It's a shame that bolt action shotguns aren't more mainstream.